we are already learned about what is specific heat capacity. As I've told you about heat capacity, means heat capacity is that for any amount of substance, the heat required to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius is known as heat capacity. And if that amount of substance we fixed 1 gram or 1 kg means some unit mass, then for the unit mass of substance, heat required to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius is known as specific heat. So simple, it's the very simple definition, and even I defined specific heat, which was simple, delta Q upon m delta T, means heat required to raise its temperature by of any amount of mass m. Simple. Now let's see a new concept, which is molar specific heat. So by name it's clear that if I'm talking about molar specific heat, it means that here we are going to study about molar mass. Means here the concept of molar mass will arise. Means simple, the definition is that heat required to raise temperature by 1 degree Celsius of 1 gram mole of any substance. And this quantity is represented by capital C, and if m is the molar mass, then we can write it by C equal to m into S, means specific heat into molar mass. As you know that simple, this is specific heat, and if we will multiply, sorry, this one is heat, and if we will multiply here simple m molar mass, then we will get molar specific heat. Now if in the body, suppose that in our system there are n number of particles, and every particle has mass small m, then we can write this number of particles equal to m upon capital M, where capital M is the molar mass of the system. So there m, the value of m will be n into capital M. So we can put the value of small m in it, means change it into the terms of molar mass, and if we will multiply m into S, then we will get molar specific heat, and the value of molar specific heat is 1 upon n delta Q by delta T. Simple. Means in other word, molar specific heat we can define in terms of moles, number of moles. Simple, means heat required to change its temperature by 1 degree Celsius of 1 gram mole. Okay. So I think molar specific heat is simply clear to you. If the concept of molar mass or such types of things arises, then we can easily understand it. Now let's see what is the variation of temperature. Simple, not a variation of specific heat with temperature. Means if we will increase temperature, then what will be the value of specific heat, or simple, what will be effects on specific heat. So let's see that. Actually, specific heat are of two types. Later I will tell you that. First here was only I want to mention that. First is specific heat at constant volume, which is represented by CV. Is molar specific heat at constant volume. Molar specific heat at constant pressure. Means if we keep constant pressure constant, and then molar specific heat obtained is known as molar specific heat at constant pressure, and if you keep volume constant, then for that it is called molar specific heat at constant volume. So for the study of variation of specific heat with temperature, suppose this molar specific heat at constant volume, there are a lot of scientists worked for that. First, the classical theory means in classical physics, scientists work for that, and they obtained Cv equal to 3R for all substances. Then it's also known as Dulong-Petit's law. Actually, the Dulong-Petit's law is known as classical theory of specific heat. Means according to that, they obtained a formula for molar specific heat at constant volume. The value of it is 3R for all temperature. It means that classically he told us that with increase in temperature, specific heat will not increase. but this was not true. Actually, specific heat varies with temperature. It is experimentally observed. So that's why again there need of correction in this formula. So Einstein tried to correct it. Einstein gave also a formula for specific heat, which was Cv is directly proportional to T. According to each formula, means there is a linear change in specific heat with temperature. Means if it will increase its temperature, then specific heat will also increase. So this formula is actually, this is also not observed by simple experiments. Firstly, let's see a curve. After that, I will tell you what will. Suppose that there's Cv, it is temperature T. So according to this, this curve must be like something this. Yes. But the experimentally observed case is that this is observed like something this. And this value, this constant term obtained, this is equal to 3R. So experimental curve doesn't match with the curve of Einstein, means there is again a violation of law, means Cv not directly proportional to T. Then lastly, Debye tried to explain it by using quantum physics, means Planck's law of radiation, and with the help of Planck's law, he successfully explained the behavior of a specific heat with temperature, and he obtained a formula where Cv is directly proportional to T cube. It is also known as T cube law. Means according to this, it will draw from some curve, then it will be obtained in this. So here it's clear that simple within at T equal to 0 degree Celsius, specific heat is 0, and again with increase in temperature there is increase in specific heat, and at a certain value of temperature, this temperature, the value becomes constant, and that will be equal to 3R, which is equal to classically observed value, means according to Dulong-Petit's law. And this temperature is known as Debye temperature. Means simple, the law is that Cv will not increase linearly or with the increase in temperature, but after some after a temperature, means after some times, or to after attaining a temperature, this temperature, Debye temperature, the specific heat of solids become constant, and that constant value is obtained 3R for all solids. And most of the solids, Debye temperature is the room temperature, but this can be varied depending upon the nature of the substance. So this is the variation of specific heat with temperature. This varies according to this T cube law, and we can easily explain it. So at this Debye temperature it becomes constant, and the constant value is 3R. So I think the variation of a specific heat with temperature is now clear to you. So if this behavior is clear, then let's see molar specific heat of water. As you know that water has some anomalous behavior, so due to that behavior we have to study it separately. As I told you, anomalous behavior of water. So molar specific heat of water can be also defined as simple heat required to change the temperature by unit degree of 1 gram mole of water. Simple. This is called the molar specific heat of water. Means simple, after putting the value we can easily calculate C for the water. And also it is observed that molar specific heat for water varies with temperature, but the variation is different from the solids. The curve for that is something like this. This is the curve for water, means this is temperature and this is specific heat. Means normally when at 0 degree Celsius solids have specific heat 0, then for water at 0 degrees Celsius specific heat is not 0. Even for the temperature means for 4 degrees Celsius change, its molar specific heat decreases with increase in temperature. Normally, as we are seeing that here, with increase in temperature, molar specific heat is increases, but here with the increase in temperature, first it decreases. After 2 degrees Celsius, it starts to increase as like the T-cube law. But from here, due to its peculiar behavior, due to its anomalous behavior, as I have told you, of its anomalous behavior, because the density, mass, density and volume concept also obtain different than other liquids and solids. So that's why we have to study it in the separate way. So normally if other solids and liquids show such types of behavior, T-cube law, but in case of liquid, in case of water, for first 4 degrees Celsius, it decreases, after that increases with increase in temperature. So I think the variation of specific heat with temperature of solids and of water is simple, clear to you. So if this is clear to you, now let's see some other concepts regarding to the heat capacity. Now let's see a new concept, which is water equivalent of a body. So what is water equivalent of a body? Simple, the amount of mass evolved or absorbed by the water is same as the heat, same as amount of heat is obtained when there is fall or increase in temperature. Means if simple, you know that if there is fall or increase in temperature, means if there is change in temperature occur, then there will be some amount of heat transfer will occur. So that amount of heat is equal to the amount of mass evolved or absorbed by the water at the same change in temperature. That is known as water equivalent of the body. So as we know that simple, this is specific heat formula, means here we can obtain the change in or simple heat absorbed or heat evolved with the change in temperature delta T. So that is for the body, and this is suppose that for the water, if we are changing temperature by delta T of W gram mass, then we obtain the delta Q heat evolved or absorbed. So it can be also written as in this form. So by using this as for the water equivalent, as I told you that these two quantities must equal. Means they are equal. Simple, if there is change in temperature delta T occur, then the amount of mass changes or simple the amount of heat absorbed or evolved by W gram mass will be equal to the amount of heat obtained by changing delta T temperature of any body. So simple, this is also connected with the help of specific heat or simple heat capacity. So we can write that water equivalent will be equal to S into M. Means this is the connection between water and the simple other bodies. So this water equivalent it helps us actually to determine so much means much compare too much values for the specific heat and other quantities. So simple water equivalent is, I think, clear to you. This is only simple concept was that. Next, the main concept of that again, as we have already studied about the specific heat of solid and specific heat of liquid, like means water. Now, what will be the specific heat of gas? Specific heat of gas is similar to the solid or liquid or not? So actually, specific heat of gas shows some different behaviors. So let's see that separately. Next concept is the molar specific heat of gases. So definition is again very simple, that the heat required to change the temperature by unit degree of 1 gram of the gas. Simple. This is called the specific molar specific heat of the gas. So what is the difference actually? When I was telling you about the expansion of gases, the thermal expansion of gases. In that I've told you that the coefficient of expansion for the gases are quite large in comparison to solids and liquid. Means in solid and liquid, the expansion of solid and liquid is very small in comparison to gases. So when we change the temperature in case of gases, then heat, the amount of heat or simple heat, as the definition is heat required to change the temperature, means to change the temperature when we supply heat to the gases, then heat is used in two ways. First, to rise the temperature, and second, to expand the gas. Means here the coefficient of expansion is large. It means that some of heat is used to expand the gas. Means here if we want to change the temperature, then definitely we need some different amount of heat for different substances, depending upon the nature of the gas. Means the gas which can easily expand, the gas which can't easily expand, even other conditions in which gases are filled, means depending upon the container and cylinder in which we are put at. It means that simple, the molar specific heat for the gases can be different. It will not have any unique value like the solid and liquid. It will change with the change in nature and other atmospheric or surrounding changes, means depends on these conditions. So there can be value of specific heat 0, infinite, positive, negative, depending upon the conditions. It doesn't have any definite value, any unique value, due to the region of the expansion of gases. So depending upon these natures, let's see how it can change it. So as we know that simple, the specific heat is given by delta Q upon m delta T. Okay. So I think in it, or simple, if you are confused, then you can write it simple x. Okay. Molar specific heat of, suppose that this is gas and this is equal to this. Okay. So now suppose that if we fill the gas in any cylinder with which is frictionless, and now different conditions is applied to that cylinder. First is that if we allow the gas to be compressed suddenly, means if we start the compression of the gas suddenly, means if you try to change it in liquid, or we are applying pressure on it, then due to that application of pressure, there is no heat transfer from the surrounding takes place. Means there will be the process, adiabatic process will takes place, and in that case delta Q means change in heat will be 0, because there is no heat surrounding, heat change with the surrounding takes place. Only rise in temperature takes place due to that compression, because if we compress the gas, due to change in pressure there will be change in temperature occur, and if heat transfer is not takes place with the surrounding, then this value is 0, but this value will not be 0. So for that case, molar heat capacity will be 0. So first case is that if we are compressing the gas suddenly, then molar specific heat becomes 0 in that case. Second case is that let's suppose that we heated and allowed to expand the gas. So what will be the actually in this condition, when we allow the gas to expand, and we are heating, means we are providing some heat to system, then or gases, then in this case there is change in heat takes place, because we are also providing heat to there, but the net change in temperature is 0 in this case. If we are heated it, and means we are providing some heat energy, and we, with the means as I told you, let's see some as I told you that heat is used in two ways. First, to raise the temperature, and second, to expand the gas. So if here is the equal expansion in gas with the supplication, means we are supplying heat and even gas is expanded. So gas is expanding, then definitely there will be no net rise in temperature will occur. So in this case, if we heat the gas and also we allow to expand it, then delta T will be 0. So obviously if delta T will be 0, then what will be the molar specific heat of the gas in this condition? That will become infinite. Means all of the heat energy will use to expand the gas, not to use the rise in temperature. Means temperature of the body of the gas becomes constant. Means it's a condition of isothermal condition. Means the gas expand isothermally, then the molar specific heat becomes infinite. Okay. The third condition is that if rate of expansion is very slow, it means that if simple again the same concept, heat is using in two ways: first to raise the temperature and second to expand the gas. So if rate of expansion is slow, then definitely heat will use to raise the temperature. So obviously the value of delta T will some positive value. So if it will be positive, then simple S will obtain positive. Clear? Means if rate of simple expansion is slow, then in this case most of the heat is used to raise the temperature of the gas, and only molar specific heat becomes positive. The fourth case is that if rate of expansion is very fast. So obviously it's very obvious that if rate of expansion is very fast, then most of the heat will use to expand the gases, and in this condition there is fall in temperature takes place, and means delta T will be negative, and molar specific heat will obtain negative. So these are conditions, and through which I have explained you that there can be different value of molar specific heat of gases will be obtained depending upon the condition in which we are imposing on the gas. Means we are allowing it to expand or compress, or we are simply heating it and we are not allowing it to compress or heat. If suppose that if gas is not expanding or not compressing, then in this condition simple it will behave like the same solid and liquid. Means whole of the heat energy will used in the to raise the temperature. But normally if we will supply some heat energy, then definitely there will be some expansion or compression takes place depending upon the pressure condition and other conditions in which gases are filled. So I think this concept is now clear to you, how the specific heat of gases are different than the specific heat of solids or liquids. Specific heat of gases are of two types. Again, as I have told you that if we kept volume of the gas constant, then specific heat is known as specific heat at constant volume, and be represented by Cv, small cv. And if we kept pressure of the gas constant and we calculate specific heat, then this is called specific heat at constant pressure. So we can easily define it by the definition. Again the same definition, only there is little change. The heat required to change the temperature by unit degree of simple 1 gram of gas if we kept volume constant, and similarly heat required to change the temperature by unit degree of 1 gram of the gas if we kept pressure constant, then this is known as specific heat at constant pressure, specific heat at constant volume. Similarly we can define specific heat of gases defined in terms of molar specific heat of the gases. So we can also define molar specific heat of the gases, that will be heat required to change its temperature by unit degree of 1 gram mole of the simple. And according to definition there can be also molar specific heat of two types. First, molar specific heat at constant volume, molar specific heat at constant pressure. And simple we can also write, suppose that this is molar specific heat capital Cp, this will be equal to molar mass into simple this specific heat at constant pressure, and similarly molar specific heat at constant volume equal to molar specific mass into simple Cv. So I think it's simply clear to you. And also there is a relationship between these two molar specific heat at constant pressure and constant volume, and this is gamma equal to Cp upon Cv, or simple from here we can also write it small Cp upon small Cv, where gamma is known as simple gamma is actually depends upon the atomicity of the gases, means gas is monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic. Depending upon that the gamma has different values, and with its different values there will be different values of molar specific heat will obtain. One thing is also clear from this equation that these two specific heats will not be equal, so there can be we can obtain the difference between these two specific heats, or simple a relationship between these two specific heats in some constant value, because gamma changes with the atomicity of the gases, and that is calculated by Mayer, and also known as Mayer formula. So let's see that formula which relates the two specific heats at molar specific at constant pressure and constant volume. So let's see that. So actually the Mayer formula is simple Cp minus Cv equal to R. I will explain it in next unit, then it's a proof. I'll explain you that later. But simple from this formula, it's very clear that Cp is greater than Cv. We can also understand it we have if the volume of the gas kept constant, then there is no heat is used to expand the gas, because at constant volume there is no expansion of gas, means only there is increase in internal energy, increase in temperature of the gas will takes place when we supply some heat energy to it, means at constant volume only simple heat is used to raise the temperature. But when we keep pressure constant, then at constant pressure heat is used in two ways. First, to raise the temperature, and second, or simple to raise the internal energy. Second, to do some work in the expansion of the gas, means some of the heat energy is used to expand the gas. So definitely by raising the same amount of temperature, means if we want to change temperature by 1 degree Celsius, then there is a need of less heat energy than this case, because here heat is used in two ways. First, to raise the temperature, and second, to do some work in the expansion of the gas. So definitely we will need larger energy to change its temperature by 1 degree Celsius, and definitely this will be greater than this value, and this is greater by an amount R, which is known as gas constant, and this formula is known as Mayer formula. In next unit I will tell you its proof there. So I think this is simple clear to you why Cp is always greater than Cv. It will be always greater than Cv. Okay. So in next class let's see the state of change of the substances, means how the substance will change its state. Like you know that solid changes into liquid, liquid changes into solid, or gases, or gas change into fluids, means all the changes. And is there any point where all three states of the substance matter will occur? So all these things I will tell you later in the next class. So for today, thank you guys.